Hey guys, Suze from Smarting Coaching. How you doing? So I wanted to talk today a little bit about energy. Everything is energy, right? Everything in the world is energy. And as an intuitive life coach, I work with energy. I work with people's energy. As a Reiki practitioner, I work with people's energy. I work to help their energy to free up and flow. I help them with feeling better, raising their energy, raising their vibration. But all of it is energy. And so energy is all around in the world and it's everywhere. And even in my old job, when I used to work in a supermarket in retail, and especially over the last couple of years, the energy in that particular place has been quite intense and quite full on. And so I guess to explain that, I used to go to work in the beginning and love my job, and that was my interaction. I moved to a new town and I didn't know anybody, and so I would go to work for my days and I would interact with people, and that was where I got my socialness. And I'm a talker and I ask questions and I do all the things. So I used to do that, and I used to come home from work and I would feel quite uplifted, and I'd have lots of things to talk to my husband about when he got home from work and all the things. I loved going to work. That was fantastic. But over the last couple of years, with everything that's gone on and all of the panic and all of the things that have happened, the energy has changed in that environment. And so for the last probably, 12 months, maybe a little bit more, the energy of my job has been quite depleting. And so I would come home from work and quite often have to sleep for a couple of hours or an hour and just have some quiet time and just come back down to myself, because I felt like the energy was really heavy. And I'm sure that you all can feel that in whatever you're doing out there in the world right now too. And so with that change came different feelings for me. I started to feel like maybe this isn't where I wanted to be right now, that it wasn't necessarily good for me. And I find that where you spend most of your time, the energy of whatever that is, in the place where you spend the most of your time, that will be the predominant energy in your life. And that will make a really big difference to how you feel in your everyday. And so if you think about it, most people work 40 hours a week if you're working a full-time job. And some people don't. I only worked part-time, but you spend the majority of your waking life with the people that you work with. And that's huge. More time with them on the average than you would spend with your partner or your family or your children or your friends. And so if that is a big factor in your life, that's the main energy, and that main energy is off or incongruent to how you feel. If it's something that really grates against how you want it to be, or you're doing a job that you don't like, and then that's got a really heavy energy. However it goes for you, that will set the energy that is in your life. And it's really hard to counteract that if the place that you're at has a really heavy or negative energy, or an energy that doesn't vibe with your normal natural energy. And so for me, I'm quite a high vibe person, and I'm quite lively and passionate and bubbly, but it was starting to actually make me feel very much like not like that. And so for me to have to keep that personality and that excitement and that passion flowing, that took a lot of energy from me. And especially over the last couple of years, it wasn't just like the customers or anything like that. The staff are stressed. There were issues with supply, and there were issues with all sorts of things. So there was stress everywhere. And at one point, about 2 years ago, it was nothing for me every shift to go to the toilet at some point and find somebody in the toilet crying. Whether it be somebody from upper management or just, somebody who was just like me, just working on the checkout or whatever. The energy was so heavy that people were feeling really, really down and didn't quite know what was happening. And so I left my retail job at the end of last year, and I have felt a whole different energy. And the exhaustion that I was feeling over the last 18 months dissipated. I knew that it was very heavy, but I wasn't expecting the feeling to be as dramatic as what it was. And it really got me thinking that it's really hard to keep the high vibes happening, or to keep your energy up and keep yourself in that happy, flowy feel, if the majority of your time is not spent in that kind of a place. So what can you do about this? I really believe that if you aren't happy in whatever it is that you're doing the majority of your time is, you have to sit down and have a really good, hard, honest conversation with yourself of what that means for you. Even just admitting the problem for a start, that's a great start, right? And so the next thing I think for that is to make a plan. We can't all just walk away from our job tomorrow because we realise that this is really horrible and I don't like it. We can't just walk away from relationships just like that because, I don't like it, it's heavy. Or situations that we're in, we can't just pretend they're not happening or whatever. We do have to deal with things at some point. But if you break it down and make it manageable, it's really interesting. It's not always about getting out of that situation. Sometimes it's about you and yourself and how you handle that situation. And so the first point, as I said, is to get really honest with yourself about why you're not happy, where you're not happy, Mark down about where you're spending most of your time. What are the things that you look forward to? Is there any way that you can incorporate more of that into your life? Are you in a job where you've got as far as you can go and you can't go any further? Or are you in a job where it was brilliant and fantastic and all new and now it's not new anymore and you feel like you really just want something to challenge your brain a little bit? That's okay. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the job or the place that you're at. But you just might be at a point where you think, right, I'd actually like to try something else. And that's okay. That is just fine. Doesn't mean that you quit your job tomorrow and just sit down and wait for the right opportunity to come though. So you need to sit down and sort of map out how that would be. What would you like to do? Perhaps find some courses online or find some things. Have a look in the job ads to see what's about and see what perhaps you would like to do. Update your resume. Talk to somebody about getting a reference. Start all of those things in motion. So when it comes down to it, sometimes it's just being aware of where your energy is being drained, what things are happening that are draining your energy, and other things that you can do to either protect your energy from that. Maybe at work, maybe you're taking on a whole heap of other things that you don't need to take on. Maybe you're getting involved in all sorts of stuff that you really don't need to be involved in. Problem solved. Don't be involved in those. Don't get into everybody's extra work. Go there in the best frame of mind. Go there and do your job as best you can, and then come home and leave everything else there. If that is a position that you can be in, hallelujah. That may be all that you need. Sometimes it's just a matter of making peace with the fact that, well, this isn't my forever job, but this is where I am right now, and this is what I need to pay the bills, put food on the table, whatever it may be. This may be the place that you're at while you're studying to do something else. Great. Don't look at it as, oh, I have to do this. Look at it with a different view. Be thankful and grateful. I'm really grateful for my job, that I'm able to do this, that it pays the bills, and that it's serving its purpose for me right now, and I'm ever grateful. Make peace that this is where you're at right now. That can sometimes take the pressure off as well. But find some things for you throughout your day that you can do that might just pep your energy up. This isn't for everyone, but I used to carry crystals in my pocket and wear crystal necklaces, and I still do, because that makes me feel good and it makes me feel like excited and alive. I used to do meditations before I would go to work, and I also do them at night sometimes as well. I've also incorporated gratitude at the end of my day and being grateful for just the littlest things. I'm not talking about being grateful for the big things and for being able to go on a holiday or anything big. I'm grateful for the fact that I have a house to live in. I'm grateful that my husband has a job. I'm grateful that I can work from home now and put all of my energy into the things that I want to do now. So you get grateful for everything. Some days I'm grateful for just the littlest things, when I lay in bed of a night and it's comfortable, and I'm just grateful for my absolutely beautiful bed and my lovely bathroom where I just took a hot shower, whatever it may be. Just be grateful, and that also helps to set your vibration a little bit higher in your energy, and that can make you feel so good. Another thing that affects our energy is what we eat. And so I found that, especially over the last couple of years, and especially working in a supermarket, that was very tempting to me to grab a little bit extra of, a chocolate or something like that on the way home, because, hey, I've just worked a shift and that makes me feel good. That didn't feel so good, however, when I had to buy the next size up clothes, because, hey, nothing fits, right? And it was also tempting to grab a takeaway on the way home because, I felt really tired and really lazy and it's been a long day and all the things. So I knew it was draining my energy, and I knew that what I was putting in my body wasn't helping either. So I counteracted that by making sure that I had vegetables and meat ready to go when I got home from work. So I would do my vegetables in the morning before I started my shift, and I would have that all ready to go. We also allocated one day a week that would be takeaway day, that we knew was takeaway day. And that was fantastic because we both worked late. Whoever was home last would grab something and bring it home. Nobody had to cook. There was no cleanup. It was great. But it also felt good because I knew that day that I had some free time, that I didn't have to worry about getting the vegetables done. So that was really worked out to be a win-win, and that helped my energy as well. Other things that affect your energy are the things that you consume, not in the physical as in eating and drinking, but also the things that you consume on the daily, like your social media, or the news, or your TV shows that you're watching. If you want to have high vibe and high energy and feel really, really good, perhaps watching 5 different newses today and finding out all the things that are happening in the world is not the thing to do. Now, I'm not saying to be blissfully unaware, going around with rose-coloured glasses and pretending that the world is all fine when it's not. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about when you immerse yourself in things, when you've got news coming at you on your social media, when you've got people who are really struggling and you're watching all of the negative shows because you like the murder shows or things like that. All of that can contribute to your energy and your vibration. And those things, if you are constantly consuming those things and other things in your life are a little bit low vibe or making you feel a little bit they can all contribute. So if you get really mindful about the things that you do, the music that you listen to even, I have lots of different things now that I listen to, depending on the mood and depending on the day, that I listen to that make me feel good. I had a few songs on my playlist that when I would drive to work, I would play those. Really high vibe songs, get me in the mood, get me really happy, just lift that vibration and feel really, really good. And the same thing when I drove home. That would be really awesome for me. I very rarely listen to the radio because all of the talk back and all of the things like that just seem to be bringing a negativity to me that I really didn't want. So I just play my music all the time when I'm in the car now, and I can control and keep it happy. And another thing for that is also to do things in your life, hobbies, sports, things that make you feel good, that will help your energy to be positive. So walking or physical activity is a great way to move any energy through your body that you may have picked up or held on through the day. Quite often when I do Reiki, I can find places that people are storing their energy and things that are sort of a little bit stuck. And physical activity of any kind can help you with that. So whether it be a walk or a run, some people like to do really, really physical activities. Some people like to cycle, whatever you like to do. Find something that you can do that will help move that energy through you so that it doesn't feel stuck. You feel like you've released everything and it feels really, really good. You end up on a really good high afterwards. Other things like walking along the beach or looking forward to a really, really good book or a nice long hot shower or a bath or whatever the things are that you look forward to. Things like that can really help to keep your energy up and make you feel good. So I hope some of these were really, really helpful for you. I know that I've used all different sorts of things along the way, depending on what was happening. Sometimes just being aware of your energy is the first step, and that can really make a huge difference to how you feel and how you show up in the world as well, how you show up in your job, the type of parent that you can be, the type of friend that you can be, the type of partner that you can be. So even just recognizing, oh, I'm feeling a little bit, oh, I need to really get that mood back up again. Maybe you just need to go and take a toilet break for 5 minutes, splash some cold water on your face, take a few deep breaths, get yourself back together, head back out there with a whole new attitude. Sometimes that is what I used to do, especially over the last couple of years at work, just to reset and refresh and stop anything that was happening that was starting to bring my mood down. So find things for you that help you and make you feel better. I really hope that you found some of these tips and little things that you can do really, really helpful. Why not try them in your day and see how you go? And if you've got any more that you like to do to help bring your energy back up, please put them in the comments. The more that we can share with people and give people ideas, the more that we can grow and the more that we can feel happy and fulfilled. And that just has an absolutely beautiful flow and effect into the world. If you've liked this video and found it helpful, or you think that somebody that you know may be able to find some of these tips useful, please share it with them. And I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel, and that way you can see each time that I release a new video, and they may help you just when you need something to pep up your day. You can also find me over on Instagram at Smarting Coaching, so I'd love you to come over there. We're building an absolutely beautiful community over there of people who just like to share the love. I'm Suze from Smarting Coaching. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with me, and I'll see you again soon.